Hi, and welcome to my presentation. Today I'm presenting a case study of my client Arijit for my Career and Development course, card 8090. In my presentation, I'm going to give an analysis of Arijit's career from different perspectives. I'm going to begin by introducing Arijit and discussing his background and education so far. I will then try to understand his career by using different career metaphors. First, career as a cycle by using Donald's supercycle theory. Then, career as fit using Holland's theory and how they align with his career. I will then outline the strengths and weaknesses of each theory and wrap it up by using other career metaphors which I think align better with my understanding of Arijit's career. When I asked Arijit to describe his career, he quoted the lyrics from a famous Bollywood song of Kishore Kumar, Ruk jana nahi tum kahin haar ke, which means to keep going, to dust your knuckles, get up and move on. For Arijit, it's about how much this approach has helped him to what he has become today, to never stop learning and growing. Meet Arijit. Arijit was born into an upper caste Brahmin family in Mysore, India. Having been raised in a traditional Indian joint family, Arijit grew up to be a disciplined straight A student. Following his father's footsteps, Arijit decided to be an engineer and chose to study electrical engineering in the year 2003. In the year 2011, in order to have more business knowledge, Arijit pursued his master's in business management. Let us have a glance at Arijit's career so far. Arijit secured his first job working as a back-end executive in Airtel, and his first career breakthrough came in the year 2004 when he was hired as a quality assurance engineer at ABB, a company where he worked for 15 years of his life. He moved up within the organization, serving in a number of roles, from demand planning role to supply chain engineer to senior supply chain engineer. In order to do so, he equipped himself with the necessary skills and engaged in a lot of learning to keep himself updated. In the year 2014, he got his first managerial role as a supply chain engineer and continued till the year 2019 until he quit ABB to join Lam Research as a commodity supply chain manager specializing in semiconductors. Using career as cycle as a metaphor. Super's development theory talks about how careers unfold over the lifespan. Super's five stages of career development can be summarized as growth, exploration, establishment, maintenance, and disengagement. Growth talks about developing an idea of self concept, attitudes, and needs while growing up, while exploration focuses on learning what to become by exploring self. Establishment talks about the ongoing implementation of self concept by skill building and stabilization through experience. Maintenance is the stage about reflecting on career and deciding to continue. Disengagement talks about adjusting to declining energies, understanding limitations, and preparing retirement. Let us align Super's cycle to Arijit's career. Arijit implemented a self concept of being an engineer when he was 14 years old. However, there was no evidence of his being interested in engineering prior to that, so it doesn't align with the growth stage. From 15 to 24, Arijit made an occupational choice. He chose electrical engineering and he later explored his interest and abilities by developing necessary skills such as being a qualified internal auditor. He continued exploring his options until the age of 30. So it aligns well with the exploration stage but not with the age brackets as he took longer time. He then reflected his past and future of his career and made a career in management studies by pursuing MBA. So this aligns well with the establishment stage, but it required a shorter time frame. In my opinion, he is currently in the maintenance stage and is looking for a change and needs a stress-free job. I asked Arijit if there were any career issues that he faced in his early, mid, and late career, and this is how he responded. In his early career, he had to make a choice to take another branch of engineering based on his set ranking. In his mid career, there were a number of factors. like recession in 2009. His company got fewer projects. And also in 2012, he said it was challenging due to increased prices and savings was an important part of his job role. Now that he is in his late career, he talks about physical constraints and stress. From these issues, a number of factors affecting his career issues can be quoted. First is demographics. As majority of young population were seeking an education in engineering, it was difficult for Arijit to get his desired engineering field. Also, economic factors such as the global financial crisis in 2008, which reduced the career opportunities. There are organizational factors such as increased prices in 2012. And also, now in his late career, he talks about physical constraints and stress, leaning more towards social factors. When asked about his career, young versus now, Arijit felt influenced by the careers of his father and society as a whole. He said he had limited scope to explore his options when young. His career thoughts expanded, and he feels thankful for the career exploration in ABB company, leading him towards the career he would have eventually chosen, as he is happy now with his current role as a commodity supply chain manager. So, were there any mini cycles? Savikas in 2002 proposed that within the broader cycle of person's overall career, as a maxi cycle, a mini cycle of growth, exploration, establishment, management, and disengagement occurs each time an individual's career is destabilized by socio-economic and personal events. In the case of Arijit, from age 25 to 44, there certainly are elements of mini-cycle in this maxi-cycle. Arijit moved from a demand planning role to a supply chain engineer by learning skills, exploring the field, and was soon promoted to a senior level engineer, which aligns with the establishment stage. He maintained his position by becoming a qualified internal auditor for 3 years. However, when the global financial crisis hit, Arijit considered his options and decided to move into a managerial role, which can be counted as disengagement. Using career as fit as a metaphor. Holland's theory focuses on matching interests to occupations of individuals and identifies six personality types in which most people fit into: realistic, people with mechanical abilities; investigative, people with math and science abilities; artistic, artistic ability and imagination; social, people with social skills; enterprising, people with leadership and speaking abilities; and conventional, people with clerical and math ability. I asked Arijit to have a RIASEC assessment, and he scored highest on social, followed by realistic and artistic. My initial guess on Arijit's career was more towards ERS. Enterprising was my lead category, as he had been working as a manager for 10 years now. The other two lead categories were realistic and social, which are in conjunction with the results. Analysis of Arijit's career based on the four primary structures of Holland's theory: consistency, degree of differentiation, identity, and congruence. For consistency, Arijit looks to be consistent to some extent, as out of the three main categories, social and artistic are close to each other on the hexagon. For differentiation, there is a dilemma, as I would describe Arijit as being highly differentiated, as social and realistic are the two opposites of the hexagon. However, his scores between social and artistic were same. This parameter is somewhat lacking and ambiguous. For congruence, I would say Arijit is highly congruent, as it reflects his interaction with clients on day-to-day basis, that's social, and realistic as he's still involved in the engineering field. However, artistic seems out of the picture and is more of a hobby. Lastly, there is identity. I think Arijit is confident in what he does and has a clear picture of his goals, interests, and talents. Let us now understand the strengths and weaknesses of both Cycles and Holland's theory. While both theories help Arijit understand his career path, better from being an engineer to a manager through the idea of self concept as outlined in cycles and through interest in Holland's theory, each have their weaknesses. In terms of cycles, the age brackets are too rigid and they don't account for any career development which happened in the case of Arijit. Also, it doesn't account for economic factors like financial crisis, which was the drive for him to get into management, ensuring job security. In Holland's theory, for a person as diverse as Arijit, compatible with more than three categories, it doesn't account for the remaining interest. In my opinion, there are other career metaphors that can explain Arijit's career as well. One is career as inheritance, and the second one is career as journey, organizational career. Arjit chose engineering from an early age and went on to become an electrical engineer just like his father, who was a civil engineer. The ideologies and values that he received as a part of his inheritance growing up provided him not only with the career opportunities but also played a significant part in what he brought into his career ambition, motivation, and attributes which further intensified the effect of his inheritance. The other metaphor that fits well is career as a journey or organizational career, as the opportunities, training, and rewards provided by his first company, ABB, played a huge role in what he has become today. Things that I learned from this activity as a CDP professional are: though career development theories can help in understanding careers, no theory can accurately explain an individual's career. Second is the role of environment and how important it is in making career choices today. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching.